feel que mostra
It's a stadium known for its design, its noise, and a fan base so passionate. Brock, you know this firsthand. They've retired a jersey number for them. Welcome, everybody, to Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Katie York set to get this one started. And we're underway from Seattle. Returning it from the 4. Good looking. Uh-oh, it's a fumble on the opening kick. And the fumble recovery is made. Ooh, got the hearts racing a little earlier than they wanted. My heart's racing up here, but fortune on their side this time, partner, as they do get the ball back and are going to have their opening possession after all.
Yeah, it definitely spooks you a little bit, and you got to now make sure as an offense you settle things down. Maybe a good reminder, too, in the huddle. Hey, boys, let's make sure we take care of this football.
And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Back to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
And now this defense is on that sack board and sets up a pretty good chance here on third down. It's a little bit like blood in the water with sharks when it comes to taking sacks. You can feel it as a quarterback. Once that defense gets one, they're hungry for another.
Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And now they're staring at 4th and long. Seahawks bringing out the punt team. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. Takes it in at the 26. And he's brought down before the return gets far. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Steelers will take over possession. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. The first carry now for Kyron Williams. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Lawrence in the pistol. Connects with the open man downfield. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one goes for 25 yards. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. Up the gut they go with Williams. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Finds him over the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that's a Steelers first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Now we're running for the first time with Jalen Warren. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. There on the tackle, the rookie out of Auburn.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Lawrence now off the play action. That one's complete, right side. And this is down all the way to the 3. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake.
Tight end down
And when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Warren has the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers have a great first drive and get the game's first points.
You're going to have to catch up to, you're going to have to catch up to his tight end.
Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now is York to kick this one away. Starting from the 5. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Second and 6 coming up here. They'll run. First give to Zach Charbonnet. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Hey, look, any run of this size is going to wound the defense. But you get this game going right up the heart of their defense, you start to break their will and break their pride.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They give up the gut to Walker. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing.
2 blockers
Too many
ran right
plays
past
like
him.
that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Short pass brought in. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Third and a lone yard coming up. Now an inside give to Walker. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line. Michael Dixon on the punt. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. Got 46 on his first punch, and this one's pushing a little more distance.
You know, I'm sure Coach would prefer he not flirt with disaster on the return. No additional damage is done, however. They're fortunate to get the ball back, and everyone can breathe a little sigh of relief.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
On 2nd down, Warren. He's contained at the line for no gain. Byron Murphy there to make the play. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
And the Seahawks with a dime look defensively, 3rd down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers take a 13-0 lead. I love love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake here. Finds his man over the middle. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. So we're through. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Escapes the pocket. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Finds a man right side. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Javon Dexter escorted him to the ground.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. As an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. As a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. They kick the running back in motion. Shotgun now on 3rd down. Pass complete to Walker. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio. This guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Well, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Now go with Walker on the counter. And he's still looking for the play that sparks the ground game as that one stopped for a loss.
Good defensive tackles in this league, Kate. They can take up a couple blockers. Great defensive tackles. Well, they stuff the stat sheet just like that, knocking that run
Stick drift took over.
to get started.
Let's see what they went with on 3rd down.
Lost control of my player.
Pass play now. He has the first over the middle. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. What a play on 3rd and 13, and this drive will indeed continue.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And they make the stop, but a lot closer to the end zone now. He got it to the 11. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now Walker. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that picks up a 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Goal to go, they're passing. And this is caught. It's a Seattle touchdown. The Seahawks start to fight back with their first points of this game. That one right down the middle. And the Seahawks chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with Warren. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 39. He gets a lot behind one. Deep downfield. Brought in inside the 20. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he's able to bring this one down to the 4-yard line.
People aren't keeping up.
Good rip on first down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
On 2nd down, a run with Williams. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. A gain of 3, and now they're going to be able to plan for 1st and goal.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
Williams is in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers take a 13-point lead. Kyron Williams, the touchdown. You're good on the point after. And the Steelers double their lead to 14. Now he's York to kick this one away. Return starts at the 3. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They're going play action. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tre'Davious White. And the Steelers will have it right at the opposing 30 after the interception and that return on top of it.
Well, nickel has really become the base defense for so many teams in the league because the passing game has become so prevalent today. It really makes it so much more difficult to find an open throwing lane. It gives defenses a lot more speed on the back end to step in front of passes just like that.
Cut out left. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Brought down by Reek Woolen. We're at the 2-minute warning now from Seattle. The Steelers looking for a bigger lead before the break. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Straight ahead with Williams. And he'll only get this to the 26 before going down. A gain of about 3, so a third of what they needed. 3rd and 6 coming up.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on third down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
On third down, here's Williams. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Ask for a little bit more on that one. As that running back's come up with more than he's used to on third down, he made it look like just another day at the office. I wouldn't expect every conversion to go as smoothly. He sure made that one look routine.
Man in motion, headed right. First down, and they go right back to it. And he gets very good yardage there. That's down inside the 10. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw. Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call.
Throw to his tight end.
Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Warren is across the line for the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers get more points to end a lopsided first half. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Now is York to kick this one away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, it's time to chalk this game up already.
Down to 12 seconds before halftime as they come to the line. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And it gets a fraction closer as the lead's down to 18.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock here with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. On now is Dixon to kick this one away.
I can't force no turnovers because my DBs can't keep up with nobody. You gotta put them in passing situations.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Makes the grab in bounds left side.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Second half starts with a run by Williams. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. 16 yards on the play. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10+, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
He finds some space again, and he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. They get 22 on that one, and that's a Steelers 1st down.
Kate, that's the type of run that shines the light well on him as a runner, of course, but you got to give a lot of credit to everybody else. Those skill guys, when you have an outside run,
you don't got to throw it to his tail if you could just run the ball of us.
Not just the running backs, that takes everyone on the perimeter blocking to get a big run like that.
And that carry only nets 1 on the plunge up the gut.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
This time it's a passing play. And got his man. That's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers grow the lead coming out of halftime. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Now he's yours to kick this one away.
All defenders, they're back to acting stupid.
Returning it from the 4. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. On the carry, it's Walker. And he has him a small chunk of yards up to the 42. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd and 4 coming up now. They're throwing it. That's caught for the 1st. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. That's 16 on the pickup. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He fires one deep down the middle. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
2nd and 10 now. That's a catch, Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. They'll come up 1st and 10. They are throwing it again. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Send everybody deep. I know he wants to wait and stretch the field and use his arm. The trouble is, you wait too long, you end up on your back.
Trying again following the sack. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Here he is on third and long. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal. From the red zone now. Intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Tre'Davious White. And the Steelers, they're going to take over after his 9th interception of the season.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
Drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And he drives ahead for good yardage up to the 45. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Warren running between the tackles. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third down, 1 yard to go. Lawrence now off the play action. Brought in right side. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Williams now on 1st and 10. And he's able to work this down to the 41. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
And the struggles continue for him tonight. He's only able to get back to the line. Nothing for them on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd and 1. Defense gets there to force a small loss.
It's after plays like these, Kate, I love to study the body language. What is that offense doing after getting stuffed inside on a run like that? And more importantly, how much does it energize that defense?
Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. They just get the play on. Has him on the quick hitter. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
Hold on.
That's
Up
the end
30,
of the third
up
on
35-10. We're going for it on 4th down.
It's the Steelers with it to begin the 4th, and this game entering blowout territory.
He's not even. What?
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Trying the left side with Warren. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it. And that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
That's wild.
This is Williams.
That's wild.
And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
God forbid I did some shit like that.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Now Lawrence. Defense too much. The Seahawks dragged him down. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Reek Woolen with the INT. And the Seahawks are going to take over after his 9th interception of the season. Now that right there, that is rising to the occasion in the red zone, partner. Could have saved 3 points there, maybe twice that with that interception.
You know, these defenders, they're willing to bend and bend. These offenses are so good in this league, and they know how critical the red zone is. And when you get an interception like that, you just break. You break the will of that offense and the confidence, and those are big time. You're right. Put some points on the board for that defense with that effort.
They gain 14 on the play. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down. They'll throw it. Setting up the screen. Space past the 35. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
With that down the distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the 1st, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
They'll throw on 1st. Caught quickly on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Throwing now from the gun. Finds his man over the middle. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That's caught. Here's Zach Charbonnet. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
They motion a receiver left. From the 27. He's got it at the 5. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And the defender comes away with it. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers take possession as he makes his 4th interception of our season.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system.
I'm so lucky.
Fortunate to play in. Touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, this is a time where offensively you got to regroup. You got to get in that huddle. You know, quarterback is the most important leadership position. Everyone's looking at you.
I don't know what he's doing.
As a QB, after taking a sack like that, golly, you got to flush it, instill some confidence, and move this ball forward.
Shotgun handoff to Warren. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
Even though that run did not net them a 1st down, I can promise you this, Kate. I promise you. I know how it works. They're going to circle that one. They're going to remember that one. And when they need some key yards on the ground, they'll come back to that call later.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now a 4th down staring right at him. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he'll haul in this punt. Fair catch made at the 45-yard line. The Seahawks in good field position to start this drive off as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. They take a knee, and that's going to force that defense to burn a timeout if they want to save any clock here. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. They take a knee, and that's going to force that defense to burn a timeout if they want to save any clock here. A conversion unlikely, but the offense is going for it. 4th and 13. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Try and push it deep downfield. What a dive! I think he caught it! So the Steelers come in and take this on the road.